Today is a real honor. I came to Vancouver 26 years ago, and I've never left. I love this city. It is my home, and the Canucks have always been a big part of my family.
Well, here we are at Rogers Arena on the great day. Trevor Linden named President of Hockey Operations. With me, columnist Tony Gallagher, beat reporter Jason Botchford. I'll start with you, Tony. What did you make of what you heard today?
Another great day in Canuck history, is it? I don't know. I saw a guy who appeared a little bit in over his head. Of course, obviously, the crucial decision to be made is who he hires as general manager and how much the two will make decisions together. I presume it'll be kind of a community decision-making process, perhaps with ownership having a small bit, despite the fact that the Aquilinis say that Trevor will be making all the decisions. We know that they're an active ownership and like to be involved.
Trevor will make all the decisions on hockey-related personnel, coaches, players, free agents, whatever's. Trevor will be in charge of all hockey operations and make all the decisions.
You know, the crucial decision is upcoming. Who do they hire as a general manager? Who does that GM like as coach? And that's where the rubber hits the road with this team.
Is there going to be a decision on general manager soon, or how do you see that process playing?
Yeah, I mean, that's a process that I have to kind of thoroughly evaluate. It's already begun, but we will do a general manager search from within and from outside of our organization.
Jason, you asked Trevor some pointed questions about style of play and the season. What did you make of what you heard and saw?
Well, I think for starters, it's great PR for the Canucks. They've totally and completely taken over this story. For the next 3 games, it's going to be positivity. It's going to be, Trevor. Then it's going to be Pat Quinn, and then probably it's going to be John Tortorella getting fired. And I thought that definitely when I asked Trevor about the style of play, it was more warm than Mike Gillis was toward the type of style that Tortorella's teams play. But I have a hard time imagining any rational, logical, intelligent hockey person would want to keep John Tortorella on board for next year. One of the most contentious issues here is the style with which the team will play, Trev. What's your vision? How do you think that the Vancouver Canucks moving forward should play?
I come from the school that fundamental sound hockey is winning hockey, and I've been a big believer that playing well defensive, smart, positioned hockey doesn't compromise your offensive.
Isn't it interesting you mentioned Pat Quinn there, and Trevor in his discussion from the podium today mentioned he called Pat Quinn.
I actually made a phone call just before I came out here, and it was to Pat Quinn. And a nice talk with Pat, and it's interesting because I think he was probably the same age when he came to Vancouver in '87 that I am today, roughly.
I would suggest that will not be the last call he'll make to Pat Quinn. Pat's been the president here, obviously he's had a lot of experience with this city, and I suspect that when Trevor has some questions, has some issues, Quinn's going to be a sounding board. So in a very real sense, you're looking at a back to the future scenario here.
Yeah, and my curiosity, guys, was really about John Tortorella today. I'm just asking Trevor questions about having a coach under contract and the fact that Trevor's going to be very involved. The GM obviously gets to pick his coach, but Trevor told us today he's going to be very, very involved in the process. I don't see a connection between Trevor Linden and John Tortorella. I think when that final game is played Sunday, within days, when he said he's going to meet with the coaching staff and players, I expect that other shoe to drop pretty quickly and John Tortorella to not be here. Trevor, you have a coach under contract, and a general manager usually hires his coach. How involved do you plan to be in that process of assessing the team's style of play, John Tortorella, and then moving forward?
That's obviously the timing of this allows me to fully evaluate the coaching staff. I met John this morning for the first time, so I come into it with a fresh set of eyes. Obviously, I understand the challenges with coaching. I've been a player for 20 years. I look forward to sitting down with the players after the season and fully understanding the ins and outs of their issues and their season.
If the direction that ownership wanted to take for the team was an up-tempo, puck possession, attacking team, Mike Gillis would still be here.
There you go. From Rogers Arena, enjoy your day.